Assange is a Rothschild agent and PSYOP. Julian Assange was born in 1971 in Australia. After Julian was born, Julian's mother Christine became sexually involved with Leif Mennel, a member of the family cult. The family was run by Anne Hamilton Byrne, who ran her child kidnapping cult on the outskirts of Melbourne. Byrne dyed the stolen children's hair blonde and fed them LSD. 1. Rothschilds use WikiLeaks to wound rival bank. After being made famous, Julian Assange's first task is to wound a rival bank of the Rothschild Bank in Switzerland. The rival is Bank Julius Baer, the top Swiss bank for centuries. The competing Rothschild Bank AG opened in Switzerland in 1968. On January 17, 2011, Assange held a press conference at the Frontline Club where Rudolf Elmer, a former employee of Bank Julius Baer, gave Assange private files from the bank's Cayman Islands operation. Elmer said he wanted to expose mass tax evasion before he flies back to Switzerland to stand trial for stealing information from a bank. Although Elmer has not named the tax evaders, he claims the CD files contain information about 40 politicians, many business people, multinational conglomerates, and people who have made their living in the arts. Assange's press conference was actually a public threat to Bank Julius Baer. WikiLeaks first disclosed some of Elmer's Julius Baer material in 2008, naming 10 clients. At the time, Julius Baer sued and got a court injunction to effectively shut down WIKILEAKS.org at its web host in California. Subsequently, the law firm Fox Rothschild represented WikiLeaks, got the injunction overturned, and got WikiLeaks.org back online. Immediately, WikiLeaks commenced leaking more of Elmer's documents, which was damaging to Bank Julius Baer. Bank JB got a lot of negative publicity from its attempt to censor the internet. When JB lost the suit, their super elite clients became fearful of being exposed and prosecuted for tax evasion and money laundering. Julius Baer's shares dropped 60% during the next 10 months. On December 4, 2008, the 52-year-old CEO of Julius Baer, Alex Widmer, was unexpectedly found dead. 2. Julian Assange's bail posted by Rothschild's sister-in-law. A sister-in-law and second cousin of the Rothschilds posted bail for Julian Assange. Socialite heiress Jemima Khan Goldsmith posted £20,000 $32,000 for the bail of WikiLeaks leader Julian Assange. She's genetically related to the Rothschilds, and she is a sister-in-law. Daily Mail, the 10th of May 2010. Her father, the late James Goldsmith, British banker, publisher, is a cousin to the Rothschilds. James' grandfather Adolf Goldschmidt came to London as a multi-millionaire in 1895 and changed the family name from the German Goldschmidt to the English Goldsmith. The Goldschmidts, like their neighbors and relatives the Rothschilds, had been prosperous merchant bankers in Frankfurt, Germany since the 16th century. Wikipedia. 3. Media. WikiLeaks. Julian Assange filmed a video for The Economist, a Rothschild publication, which gave him its New Media Award. The Rothschilds began grooming Julian Assange in 2008, when WikiLeaks was awarded The Economist's New Media Award. The Economist is the voice of Britain's establishment led by the British Rothschilds, which has, for example, on balance, supported Britain's involvement in the Iraq War. Sir Evelyn Robert Adrian de Rothschild was chairman of The Economist from 1972 to 1989. His wife Lynn Forrester de Rothschild currently sits on The Economist's board. The Rothschild family also has a large shareholder interest in The Economist. The Guardian and the New York Times, two of Assange's media partners, are linked to the Rothschilds. The Guardian is controlled by Guardian Media Group, whose chairman is Paul Miners, a past employee of NM Rothschild Limited and Sons Limited. Guardian Media Group is owned by Scott Trust, which became a limited private company in 2008, with all trustees becoming directors of the Scott Trust. Anthony Sauls was appointed as a trustee of Scott Trust in 2009. He is currently executive vice chairman of the investment bank Rothschild. Guardian owners, aka the Scott Trust, partner with Rothschild, Snowden, and WikiLeaks. Guardian partners with Jacob Rothschild, and Murdoch partnered with 9/11's Dick Cheney and Trump. Made Snowden famous with Greenwald release the story with Intercept partners with Clinton. College is in charge of Egypt. The Guardian gave the U.S. cables to the current New York Times. The chairman of the New York Times is Arthur Sulzberger Jr., a member of the Council on Foreign Relations. He is the son of Arthur Ox Sulzberger and grandson of Arthur Hayes Sulzberger, who served as a trustee for the Rockefeller Foundation in cahoots with Rothschilds for One World Government. 4. Law firm. WikiLeaks used the law firm Fox Rothschild to overturn a judge's ruling to order a web host to shut down the WikiLeaks site. Assange's lawyer is also Rothschild's lawyer. Alan Dershowitz, who is Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump's lawyer, is also on Julian Assange's legal team. Julian Assange's lawyer is Mark Stevens of Feiners Stevens Innocent, a major London elite law firm. They are the legal advisor to the Rothschilds' prestigious Waddesdon Trust. Assange's lawyer Jennifer Robinson, best friend of Amal Clooney, raises millions for the Clintons sparking Arab Spring with Assange resulting in U.S. Army war. Assange's lawyer Bertha Foundation runs Robin Hood Holdings owned by Rothschild. 5. The imprisoned place. After a time in a real prison, Assange was imprisoned in a countryside mansion at the home of Von Smith, the owner of Frontline Trust, a news organization that seeks to influence TV journalists. Frontline is funded by George Soros Organization, Open Society Institute, and George Soros is intimately intertwined with the Rothschilds. George Soros has been a frequent business partner with James Goldsmith, father of Jemima Khan and cousin of the Rothschilds. The director of Soros Open Society Institute, Richard Katz, was director of N.M. Rothschild and Sons for 16 years. Other board members like Nils Taub also hold positions in Rothschild banks, etc. On October 25th and July 27th this year, Assange was a speaker at Von Smith's Frontline Trust. 6. Other organizations. Assange has not only won awards from the Rothschild banking family's financial publications, he also won an award from Amnesty International, which works closely with the UN, itself associated with the IMF. The World Bank, profiting politically and financially from the gigantic national debts saddled on countries by banks with the help of compliant politicians. 7. Senator Lieberman. U.S. Senator Joe Lieberman, who is ultimately responsible for making Assange the largest media personality of the decade, is a member of the Council on Foreign Relations, a Rothschild cabal which is essentially the shadow government of the U.S. U.S. Senator Joe Lieberman is the Rothschilds' point man in America. During the last presidential election, he took his friend, Republican candidate John McCain, to Jacob Rothschild's house for a fundraiser for McCain. 8. Other people. Assange, an intelligence asset of Israel, as Zbigniew Brzezinski pointed out on December 2, 2010 on National Public Radio in an interview with Judy Woodruff. One tasked with supplying a platform for Israeli intelligence to insert carefully crafted pointed intelligence wrapped in WikiLeaks. At age 82, U.S. longtime CIA advisor Zbigniew Brzezinski admitted on the 29th of November 2010 on USA Television, the PBS NewsHour, that WikiLeaks were clearly intel agencies seated and selected. 9. Conclusion. WikiLeaks is government-controlled opposition, and it is no surprise to see who WikiLeaks partners, sponsors with below. The information or misinformation from WikiLeaks also serves the Rothschilds' aim to increase conflict among nations in order to further their goal of one world government.